What's up guys, Matt back again with another unboxing video, and this is the latest Ichiban Kuji Dragon Ball EX Temple Above the Clouds. And in today's video, we'll be unboxing and reviewing the entire set. Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey. Kicking off this Ichiban Kuji is a brilliant idea of utilizing the new Masterlies Plus subset of figures within Masterlies to give us two characters in one prize, Son Goku and Karin. Goku needs no introduction as the main character of the Dragon Ball franchise. The manga panel this figure takes heavy inspiration from is wonderful and was a great choice for representing Goku during the Piccolo Daimao arc. Now, there certainly were other choices I would have preferred, but it is our first battle-damaged Kid Goku figure in Masterlies, so I won't complain too much. Karin, or Karin as some know him, is a pretty iconic character in his own right. He's our very own Senzu Bean Daddy and is very frequently seen with Yajirobe at the top of his tower, messing around in their own antics. Not only did he train Goku before his rematch with Tao Pai Pai, but we learned that he trained Master Roshi in his youth when he was trying to grow stronger as well. Karin's design lends itself well to the Ichiban Kuji format since he's a big, cartoonish cat. The texturing on his fur is outstanding and really makes the figure look big, more lifelike, and higher quality. His cane and holy water both have great texturing as well. Karin's paint and shading was done very well with good mixtures of whites, grays, and what looks to be subtle blues to make him pop. Unfortunately, Karin's cane and water do not really have any shading on them. The cane lacking shading isn't a big deal as the coloring is very dark and looks fine on its own, but it does make his water stand out as a glaring omission in my opinion. Karin's likeness is a big controversy for the community and even for myself. In person, I don't think it's as bad as online photos, but I can't deny that making Karin's whiskers and eyebrows so dark and thick was a mistake. Even compared to Karin's production images, you can see that at some point Bandai decided to make these thick pieces. It doesn't ruin him, but I do wish they went with the original vision as it was closer to the manga. Now, moving to Goku, I think he's great as well. I think his likeness translated very well to 3D as we only saw the backside of this illustration from the source, but they made his face look nearly one-to-one with the manga. Goku's hair sculpt is pretty awesome and something that Masterly seems to be improving on with each base Goku iteration they release. I'm a fan of the texturing of Goku's tail, and of course I'm glad this figure had a healthy amount of shading on his skin and gi. The only real issue I have with Goku is the color of his power pole, as I would have preferred a brighter, more saturated red color for it. Individually, these figures have an issue here and there, but as a pair, their value speaks for themselves. Goku's probably my favorite between these two, as he really doesn't have any issues, while Karin dropped the ball a bit with his thick whiskers. Kami, the god of Earth, is finally a Masterly's figure. It was only a matter of time before we saw Kami become an Ichiban Kuji figure, especially during Dragon Ball's 40th anniversary. Kami is the other half of Piccolo, and the creator of the original set of Dragon Balls on Earth. He may not look like it, but he was even more powerful than Piccolo Daimao back in OG Dragon Ball. Kami has not only trained Goku, but many of Earth's defenders like Krillin, Yamcha, Ten Shinhan, Chaozu, and I guess maybe Yajirobe. Kami has to be one of the most detailed figures in this collection. The texturing on him is insane and applied on his skin, robe, cape, and staff. They went with his earlier art style from his first appearance in the series, giving him rounder eyes and a slimmer, more gaudy look to his face. I appreciate the darker green they used for his skin color, as it really does make him feel older, and the attention to detail applied to his yellow textures on his skin. They went crazy with this figure's shading by adding it to his skin with blacks and greens, his cape with blacks and blues, his ropes with whites, grays, and blues mixed in while highlighting his Kami symbol, and even his cane by including details within the cracks with different blacks and browns. Kami's also a pretty big Masterly's figure, coming in at 10.5 inches, which is in line with previous Piccolo Daimao and Ma Jr. figures. Kami comes so close to being my favorite figure in this set. He's absolutely amazing from every single aspect, and as one of the most iconic and important characters in Dragon Ball, I would say he's a must-have figure for any collector. In a Kuji themed on the Piccolo Daimao arc with characters primarily from the Heavenly Realm and Karin's Tower, it was no shock to see Yajirobe's inclusion. Yajirobe was introduced as a strong but lazy character in the Piccolo Daimao arc. He came in clutch by rescuing Goku after his fight with Piccolo Daimao, and went on to neuter Vegeta by cutting his tail off during the Saiyan arc while he was even in his Uzaru form. Yajirobe isn't the most exciting character in the world, but is new to the Masterly series and certainly belongs in a Kuji theme this way. His face was crafted perfectly by giving him a pretty cartoony face with his beady eyes, giant eyebrows, and dramatic scowl. Yajirobe is probably the least textured figure in the set, electing to go with a smoother style to his hair and skin, though there are some details sculpted into his knees, kimono, and sandals. Yajirobe did get subtle but effective shading seen on his skin and kimono. They also used a slightly metallic but dulled gold coloring for the hilt of his blade. I was worried that Yajirobe would come out too small in his release, but at just over 7 inches, I think they did a perfect job. It's good to see more and more supporting characters made for these Kuji, and I hope Yajirobe is the start of even more of them appearing in the future. This Ichiban Kuji features some smaller prizes, most of which I picked up. Prize D was this infamous Shenron ornament that Mr. Popo created for Kami to pour the power of the Dragon Balls in. The prize itself is infamous, by the way, not the actual ornament from the show. While I don't outright hate this thing, I will remind everyone that Mr. Popo was not featured at all in this Kuji. Hashtag Kuji for Popo. There has been some commentary on whether or not Popo is a controversial character or if Bandai is trying to ignore him to avoid controversy. I don't believe that's the case, as Popo has been seen in a few episodes of Dragon Ball Super, even with dialogue, and was even featured in smaller Kuji prizes within the last few years. Regardless of Popo's omission, I don't believe this figure deserved to be such a high price for the quality of it. The Shenron within the case was very much a pain to put together, as his whiskers were pretty difficult to smoothly put on. For that reason, I probably don't have much footage of it broken within the case like Popo showed in the anime. Regardless, it's better to display it with Shenron put together anyways, since you can see the pegs to place him exposed when he's broken apart. The whole ornament is made of plastic with very little details applied to it like shading or weight. It's also a mega collector of dust, especially if you own pets like me. I saw cat fur stuck to it after 5 minutes of it out of the box, and we have a pretty clean home. At the end of the day, the Shenron ornament comes off as very cheap and an unsuitable replacement for Mr. Popo. The best part about EX Kujis though is that they always include some Dragon Archives. Dragon Archives are small figures that depict something from the manga and anime, usually in chibi or mini form. This Kuji features Ma Jr. when he was just a child seeking revenge and power, Mutaito before he fought Piccolo Daimao in the past, Goku in his jungle outfit he made out of the hides of tigers while training for the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, and the King of the World during the Piccolo Daimao arc. These Dragon Archives really get better and better every time with some creative choices and solid quality from their minifigures. Finally, I did pick up these acrylics as I use them to accent some of my bookshelves holding my manga and other small collector's items. I did not pick up the art posters they had in this Kuji this time around though. I like a lot of the art, but it wasn't included in the Kuji bundle I bought on Zen Market, and I already have so many art pieces already that don't even have frames yet. Once my girlfriend and I really start remodeling our office, we'll look into more art for the walls. We have reached our last one prize and my personal favorite figure in this set. Piccolo Daimao, aka Demon King Piccolo. What an incredible figure. There is so much to say. First of all, this is the very first time that a Dragon Ball EX Kuji has not recycled one of its prizes to deliver a last one prize. I originally thought that the head sculpt for this Piccolo was reusing the Kami's head sculpt, but upon closer inspection, I found that the textures of his head were completely different and his face sculpt in general was made differently. If Bandai wants to continue giving us unique last one prizes for EX in the future, then our collecting future is very bright. Piccolo takes advantage of the Masterlies Plus subset by including his throne from his airship. The throne really steals the show by including some amazing texturing and shading all throughout. It's also a separate piece to Piccolo Daimao, though Piccolo does look sculpted to fit the throne at all times. Compared to the Dragon Ball Arise version of this figure, this iteration captures far more detail and quality than the Arise. Now, the throne is most hollow in its center, but had some weight added to the arms of the throne. Piccolo is no stranger to details in this release either. I've already mentioned the texturing, but like Kami, he's got it all over from his skin, yellow spots on the body, and his clothes. Piccolo also goes with a darker shade of green to show his age, which contrasts really well with his younger version from Ichiban Kuji Mystical Adventure. Piccolo also has shading all throughout his skin, subtly on his robe, and even on his cape in the back. The size of this entire piece will certainly demand quite a bit of space on a display, but it's a wonderful centerpiece that reflects one of the most iconic looks to one of the most iconic Dragon Ball characters. Piccolo is going for quite a big price currently, but if you can land him for a deal on your favorite site or maybe get his Ichibancho from Best Buy, I promise you'll end up a happy customer by the time you get him. So those are my thoughts on the latest Ichiban Kuji, Dragon Ball EX, Temple Above the Clouds. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section of this entire set. I think this is so close to being an S tier. If Mr. Popo was in this set instead of the lazy dragon ornament, then I would have certainly given this an S tier. It probably could have topped my list of best of the year. Unfortunately, I think this is maybe on the higher end of A tier, mostly because of Popo's omission. Almost every other figure in this set is freaking awesome. Karin has his issues, but I love it nonetheless. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Let me know if there are other Ichiban Kuji sets that you'd like me to review within Dragon Ball, and I'll consider it for a future video like this. And of course, if you made it this far into the video, leave a like, drop a comment with your thoughts. Tell me which one of these you're going to pick up, or if you own already, and let me know your thoughts on this set overall. And of course, if you are not subscribed to the channel already, please hit the subscribe button. We're doing more reviews like this, more speculation, more news updates on upcoming Dragon Ball figures and things of that nature. And we're also hosting a giveaway this month, giving away some cool Crane figures. We're giving away one of the Dragon History figures and the entire Dragon History set to a few different winners if you become a YouTube member. Those giveaways start at $10, but if you just want to join our awesome Discord community that's growing, you can become a $3 member today. You don't have to renew. You can jump on in for permanent access. But I think that's all for today's video. Thank you guys again for watching. But until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.